beautiful people. How are you? I hope you are all safe and well out there. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back to our existing students from the Sketchbook Club community, and welcome to any new faces that might have joined us for this winter season of our Sketchbook Club online art class. It is such a joy to have you here. For those of you that don't know me, I'm Ellie. I'm the founder of Surrey Art School, and I will be here throughout this season to support you in your learning journey. So I wanted to pop on here and introduce myself, and I also just wanted to say a little bit about our winter theme, which is kicking off soon. So, the space between. That sort of space between autumn and spring, a space where I think people feel there is not actually that much going on, but when we look around in nature, we find so much beauty there. So the space between is about those glorious frosty mornings when we wake up and the whole world is covered in a blanket of ice or frost and the whole world seems to be glimmering. Or it's those moody, misty mornings when you can see your breath and you can hear the crunch of the ice under your feet. For me, I think the winter season is a beautiful season. And so we'll be looking at things like ice and snow and reflection and texture. And we'll be really thinking about sort of matching the pace of nature as we move through this season. I think here, as I sit here on the last day of 2021, I know there's always a flurry at this time of year, a hurry to sort of set resolutions and make huge changes in our lives as we move into that new year. But if we look back to, say, the Celtic calendar, or we look at things like the moon, we can perhaps find better guidance there as to how to navigate, the months of January and February before we move into March and we start to see those first signs of spring. So I encourage you to move with the pace of nature here. Maybe not to set really hard and fast resolutions for 2021, but perhaps to reflect and, think about what revelations you might have had over this year. It has been a challenge for us this year. Many of us have seen dramatic changes in the way that we live, the way that we work, the way we communicate, in our proximity, the space between each other. And actually, the space that we've created around ourselves for Sketchbook Club has been one of the things that's really kept me going through 2020, and will keep me growing through 2021. So thank you so much, everybody, for making this journey so inspiring and so much fun. So, we always take things gently here, as you probably know. And although you've already signed up to Sketchbook Club, your first official lesson does not go live until the 12th of January. So you've got time, like us, to sort of ruminate on this theme, to think about what it means to you, personally. What do these words evoke for you? What does this season evoke for you? Sometimes the January, February time can be a really challenging time because of the lack of light. So how do you compensate for that? How do you keep yourself chipper? Or do you allow more time at this time of the year to rest, to process or digest? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear how you're feeling. And you can pour some of those feelings into the starter pages of your Sketchbook Club sketchbook. So over on the portal, we've added some artist images, we've added some prompts, we've added some resources for you to download that will help you, I hope, to start to get going on the theme, to start to think about what it means for you. And then for those of you that have signed up for our starter kit, you would have received a crystal growing starter kit. And you can see next to me probably this little jar where this sort of quite tubby little angel is growing in a little solution of copper sulfate. Now, this is not the only way to make a crystal. In fact, there are tons of different ways to grow your own crystals at home. And you know me, I think I love science as much as I love art, and I love to combine the two when it comes to Sketchbook Club. So this crystal demonstrates a sort of slow growth, but also a sort of state change as well. How we can go, from liquid to solid, those kind of state date changes like ice, snow, frost, they absolutely fascinate me at this time of year. So see that as a sort of symbol of the shifts, the change that might be going on beneath the surface in nature, but also within us as well, those shifts and changes in our sort of mindset, in, how we might be feeling about how our lives are unfolding. So that crystallization of the wisdom that we might have gained in the woods through the autumn project, or also perhaps, that reflection on that metamorphosis, that shift that we went through this summer together. So think about it like that. Think about it as a metaphor, I suppose. But we will also be using crystals as inspiration for our first lesson together on the 12th of January. So as always, I'm encouraging you to take your sweet time through this project. There is no rush, there is no hurry. And if you're still finishing off the autumn season, nobody's judging you here. It has been a weird year. So take what you need and leave the rest. That is perfectly okay. So over the next couple of weeks, you can start to have a play with, getting things started in your sketchbook, perhaps collecting images, collaging. If you want to sketch and draw, you can, that's fine. But just be aware that I haven't given you any instruction yet, and I've got loads up my sleeve for you in that first lesson. And then over the next couple of weeks, I'll also be introducing or reintroducing our other tutors, Janice and Jackie. And, our intention through our private Sketchbook Club group over on Facebook is to offer you more rigorous support this year. We don't want anybody slipping through the net, because that for me is just not what we're here to do. So for that reason, I'll be checking in on Tuesdays. Janice will be checking in on Thursdays, and then Jackie has the Saturday slot. So she'll be popping in on a Saturday to make sure that we've given you feedback on your work as you are sharing it as you go along. And you'll see a little bit more structure. We'll be making folders for each cycle as well, so that you can save your work there. So nobody gets lost. I always have hated the idea of there being a student at the back of the class who was quiet and didn't felt heard, because that was me at school. So I don't want that to be you. If you want to share, then great, please do, and we will make sure that we get you feedback this term. And if you don't and you're happy just to follow along in the background, that is perfectly okay as well. We've also made a public group, so anyone who hasn't signed up for Sketch Standard or above, you are welcome to join the public group, and it would be helpful if you could migrate over in the next week or so. So that we can make sure that we have the right people in the right groups for this term. And that public group is just an open space for any Surrey Art School artists who have joined us at any point over the years, who would like to, have a safe space, a safe community with like-minded souls where they can share their work. So do have a look at that as well, please. What else? That's it, I think. I'm going to leave it there. It is New Year's Eve. Tomorrow it will be 2021. And, for all the challenges of this year, I'm just so grateful that we all still get to be together in this space. And if you're feeling a little bit apprehensive about 2021, please don't be. We've got this, guys, and whatever challenges this next year may throw at us, we will get through them together as a beautiful community of creative souls. If the world needs anything right now, it's creativity. It's thinking outside the box. It's creative thinking. So, let's honour that and, use this space together to continue to sort of dissect and digest the world one day at a time, one breath at a time. Sending so much love to you all, and I will be back in touch very soon.